Okay, thank you. Technology is usually a challenge. I think I was reconnecting with a new network because the other one you found me breaking all the time, and that could interfere with our session. Now, I wanted right away because our main aim for this particular session and this closure is to review three modules, three units, unit 4, 5, and 6. And today we are going to do unit 4 that I'm going to begin with. And then my sister colleague, Rebecca, will take you unit 5. Then tomorrow we shall be able to see the last one, unit 6. Otherwise, much of it, you have interacted with those units, and therefore the major activities, if there are certain areas of concern, your practice is what we are going to share mostly, and even add some more knowledge and expertise relating to the same. Tomorrow, marking the end of our session, then we shall be called upon to join one group so that we have a common closing ceremony. So keep to that. We shall be updating you the new links so that we can be able to join the rest so that we have official closure that we are going to meet even our county directors of education and other members of other counties. So it will be a very, very important session that we need not to miss. So I needed to inform you that so that we prepare to get to know that. Otherwise, you're most welcome. I think I have not interacted with you, but I've interacted with the content. And in the field of education, I've been there for some time. And therefore, much of the things, once we interact and go through the content and experience, then we shall be able to understand one another. So I think I want to welcome you, but I was impressed. And that is why I'm now a team of great guys, great men and women, because you are people who are hardworking and now you are leading the other teams. I was also a team of Kericho, a team leader of Kericho, and I'm also happy to have been with them because they were also leading. So continue leading, and I'm also expecting that in the last progression, we shall be able to get people scoring distinctions for this particular course so that you have a very beautiful certificate. So we shall discuss that one tomorrow because there are other requirements for you to fulfill the course expectation and course completion. So thank you so much. So without wasting time, let me share my my screen and continue discussing and reviewing Unit 4. I think I will be guided if my screen is clear and seen. I thank you. Now, so welcome for this particular session, and Unit 4 is all about effective resource management. And you as education managers at different levels, because I know we are having 8 of institutions, we are having deputies, we are having senior teachers here, and your role in management, and very critical one, is effective resource management, because you cannot effect teaching and learning process without the support of resource. Resources are actually key in terms of facilitating teaching and learning process. So therefore, you cannot actually be in management and even lead the instructional leadership if you are not familiar in terms of utilization and even identification of teaching and learning resources. And there are quite a number of them. And in fact, what I can groan in is, in most cases as a leader, your role is to mobilize these resources, utilize these resources, and even account for them, because accountability is very important. And when you are accounting for them, is that when you are supposed to be providing evidence into the utilization of those particular resources. So you realize that I'll take, and possibly not me alone, we shall take 10 minutes in the introduction. Then thereafter, we are going to have an activity 1, that we are going to look at accounting documents and even records that we are going to take 20 minutes. Then we are going to break for rooms, breakout rooms, where we are going to look at procurement and risk management. That is an activity that you will be involved in a discussion forum. You will be in that discussion, and it is important that I put it clear to you that when you go break out to your rooms, then you will be having group members, and in that group members, you don't have to waste time. You identify a leader who can be the chair of that discussion, and then thereafter you identify a secretary who will be able to document your deliberations. And thereafter, after 15 minutes of that breakout, then you will come back to the main session, and you will be able to share. The secretaries are going to share whatever they have, and possibly we are going to have around 8 minutes, or between 5 to 8 minutes is every group will be given that opportunity. Then later on, we are going to, towards the end, we are going to have a standard learning activity review. Possibly you have already done, then we shall showcase around 3 cases of those people who have done extended learning activity. And finally, we shall make a conclusion. So welcome. That is the outline of what we are going to engage in this particular unit. Now, you realize that even in the beginning, I was saying that what is key? Our role as education managers and instructional leaders is the utilization of resources, obtaining those particular resources. So we shall have to get the concept of a resource management, school planning, financial literacy, public procurement and stores management, and risk management. So those are the areas that we are going to do. But I wanted just to say that as being in a school, you have to get to know which are these resources are at our disposal. And some of it are financial resources, because it is what actually anything that we use or supports the learning process is a resource. And therefore, if you are to identify some of them, then you will find some of them will be finance is also a resources. Others could be the learning materials, could be those textbooks or books, and even the teaching and the learning aids that we are using in our schools. Infrastructure and other facilities that we are also using, like classrooms, laboratories for secondary schools, yes, workshops. I think those were very common, particularly for these technical subjects. We have workshops. Then we are having human resource is also a factor, which is very important. Then now, when we come to school planning, there are series of plans that are involved or that are used in a school. So somehow you realize that a school must have a strategic plan, because from it, then it is you can be able to draw budget based on the plan, strategic plan. But even before a strategic plan, then a school can have a master plan. Then now you have a strategic plan, then you have annual plans, you have a procurement plans. When we come even to the school instructional levels, then we have schemes of work being plans, and even lesson plans are also other forms of plans. Yes. So there are quite a range of plans. So when you start involve yourself in plans, then that is it. Financial literacy is now the knowledge relating to how you handle finances, which we shall be able to look at that. Procurement and public procurement and stores management is also key, because whatever you have procured, the procurement process and procedures, the laws relating to procurement must be adhered to. And whatever you have also procured, you have acquired, and they are in the school, then you have to engage yourself in stores management. How do you maintain stores? Because whatever now you have acquired are referred as stores. So how do you maintain the stores? So we shall discuss that. Then the risks that are facing the school, I think it will be one of the main discussion topic, but for every school, I'm sorry to say, you realize even what happened yesterday is also devastating, and it is also a form of a risk. And somehow other risks are also facing other schools. So we need to classify this type of risks and what mitigating measures, or what measures are we putting in place so that we can be able to cap the occurrence and even the impact when it occurs. So possibly I would wish and want to welcome you to this activity which follows, because it's sort of summing up, because I believe even whatever areas are highlighted in this activity on accounting documents and records, kindly identify the accounting documents and records that are used by school managers in our day-to-day operations. I think these are not difficult. We can be able to put in place. Let's utilize our charts. Which are these documents? Most of it. Okay. There's a there's a slide of which you have to respond to it. So don't use the chat. Sam is assisting us. So we shall get a prompt of the slide on the screen, and then from there you can be able to respond. But what I wanted to say is, these are resources, and this is a form of resource management, accounting documents, and even the records that we handle. Which are these? Okay.
Okay, once again, go to the chat box. There is a Slido. Then there is an option of text box. Just the way we did it during the mock, just type your answer there. Then we will see your answers on the screen. There is Slido. Just go to the chat box. There is Slido. Open the Slido, then participate on the Slido. I cannot see any vote, members. Yeah, I can see now you have started.
Just get to the chat box, and I need the response of 28 people. If I get 28, then I'm happy. Yes, the question is there. Identify the accounting documents, records. Yes, somebody have talked to payment vouchers. You cannot make payment without throwing a payment voucher. Thank you. Receipts. Whenever you make payment outside payment, then you get a receipt. That's a document. So I'll be responding based on your response. Yes, cash book. For every account, you are supposed to be having a cash book. Every account, because you have various accounts, like we have tuition account, infrastructure account. So every cash, then payment, it is encouraged that you make payment using a check. So you have a checkbook. Thank you, checkbook. I'll comment as you raise those questions. Thank you so much. And I know most of you have put the receipts because the bigger the word, POM minutes is also key because somehow the board, when they meet, they authorize, and the auditors will come and ask for those minutes because they are a form of authorization or approval for payment. So that is correct. Invoice is key. Never make any payment without an invoice because an invoice is a demand for payment. Yes, thank you. Checking on anything new. Approved budget, not a patch. It is a budget, correct? So ensure whatever budgets, whatever payment you are making, whatever transactions you are engaging in, they are gone through approval process. Delivery note, the delivery note is very important because there are two things which must go accompanied before payment: an invoice and a delivery note, because it is showing that items have been delivered to the institution. Therefore, you make payment based on delivery and then the invoice. Correct. Thank you so much. I think you are doing very well. Any other response? Any other response? Most of you have put the receipts. I want to find something. Order forms. Good. That is also another good thing, because again, kindly never buy any item which have not been requested. And the requisition, there's another form which you can also create a requisition form so that you can be able to identify who is this user. And then therefore, after filling the requisition form, then you can fill the order form, because the form now, whoever is to supply is supplying based on your order. So thank you for that. Approved budget, I think we've done very well. Thank you so much. We can proceed. I'm really impressed with the kind of information you are giving me. Okay. So now we are going back. So you have this area you have tackled very well, and want to move on to the next. Sorry. Possibly this is where we shall spend a lot of time, and I want you to take your time now. Look at this activity: procurement and risk management. Now, to implement the NESEP, this is a strategic plan for the Ministry of Education, which is NESEP 2 of 2023 to 2027. This is a strategic plan for the Ministry of Education. It says and tackle disparities in access and learning outcomes, the Ministry of Education is building classrooms and integrated learning resource centers, ILRCs, in junior schools. So you are actually in that strategic plan, there is that component where the Ministry of Education is planning to build a classroom and then an integrated learning resource center in every junior school. So now, what is required of you? And these are activities that we are going to assign to groups that identify various activities to be undertaken by the school leaders in preparation for the above project. Describe the procurement procedures that the school leader shall explore in undertaking the above project. Identify the possible unethical practices that can likely occur while undertaking the project. Then identify the possible risks that can occur while undertaking the above project. So now this is a project which is relating to construction, and therefore Group 1 will be able to identify various activities to be undertaken, particularly in the preparation of that particular project. So what are these wide range of activities? Then Group 2 will identify the procurement procedures that must be followed in order to have that project in place. Group 3, what are some of the, we talk of unethical, most of them are malpractices. Most of it, I know an example, somebody can say corruption. Yes, but what are these things which maybe they are not right and they are going on relating to this particular project? Then while the project is on, or even after the project, and even before the project, what are the possible risks that are likely to occur while undertaking this particular project? I think I've just expounded and I've elaborated how it should be. So we can, let me find out from Sami, if you can be able to. And I wanted us to take time. Possibly I will even add you some more time because whatever you will come out with it is very critical. So when you will break, possibly you will take 20 minutes each. You will take 20 minutes because I wanted us to interrogate. And given in mind that we are having even grade 9, most of the junior schools are likely to have, some schools have already gotten even money, money for construction. So this exercise is real. So Sami constitute 4 groups. And then please, what we request you again, when you break into your groups, when you get a prompt of asking you to join a group, please join immediately. And if you are you have not joined, we shall always place you, and then just be contribute to that particular group. Okay.
Thank you, Bwana Steven. Now, members, kindly join the group. Again, the question is still on the chat. If you cannot if you cannot remember your question, just kindly check on the chat. Join the groups.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Well,
Okay, there's also something about corruption. Something about corruption. When we deal with people who are corrupt, they cannot deliver properly because they will still have other things they are doing behind other people so that they can also get some money for themselves. So the issue of corruption can also be one of those malpractices.
Thank you, Veite. You are already making a discussion in the plenary. Members have already come, so everyone is here. So thank you for that contribution. And I want to welcome members back. And I believe every group have documented something that can now be presented in the plenary. And these activities are following each other. So we can begin with the first group, group 1. The chair, can you welcome the secretary of the group? Group 1.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, this is group 1. I am Florence, representing the group. We are supposed to talk about the activity the reader should undertake. And the group has started by saying we need the school to form permission of committees, which are supposed to spearhead the project. And one of the committee which was identified is tendering committee composed of 3 people, senior teacher as the head of the committee, that is the chair, the senior teacher, one of JES teacher, and 1 primary teacher. Then the formation of the, hello?
Yes, we are getting you.
Okay,
Florence,
then
go ahead.
the formation of an evaluation committee seal to be composed of the deputy head teacher as the chair of the evaluation, the senior teacher, 2 JS teachers, and 1 primary teacher. A BOM can also be called to discuss on the same issue, whereby it can also be involving the JS teachers and the primary teacher. It is also important to involve and incorporate the public work officer who can now be able to advise on the construction and the legal matters also. It is also important to consult the directors of the Ministry of Education before the project kicks off for any other logistic and any other handbys that will be required. I think we started late. Those are the few points we came up with.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Florence. I think you mentioned those activities quite well. What do other members say? Members, could there be anything that your members, Florence, the members of Group 1, whether there is something which Florence never mentioned because we want to exhaust?
I hope they can handle.
Yes, I'm welcoming them.
Yes.
Members, yes.
Hello.
Yes, Jeremiah, go ahead.
We have a tender notice.
Yes.
Tender notice should also be put in places.
Yes.
We should also form a city committee.
Yes.
For infrastructure committee, that is.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Peter Nyam, was it a member of that group? Because I was seeing he wanted to try to say something. Thank you, Jeremiah. Can we move to the other members? The other members, if there is something to say. I'm opening to the other group 3, group 2, group 3, group 4. Because we are to add, let's listen and we assist each other so that we get exhaustive points. Here is where we have already set up a project. Now, what are the series of activities right from the beginning? From the beginning up to the time now, the project, because this is a preparation stage. So, Madam Lawrence have highlighted the preparation stage. Could there be anything that was not mentioned by Madam Lawrence?
Hello.
Yes, Rose.
Yes, we must identify the site where the construction work will start.
Thank you so
Using
much.
the big committee.
Yes. And in most cases, there are these people who are able to locate. In what Rose, still, I still require you. Don't run, don't go away. Like for
Yes.
instance, whom do we involve? Because in most cases, or what documents shall we inform? You know, as a school, and this is what we are asking schools to do, is to have a master plan.
Yes.
So that in the event of having a funding like that one, you can easily identify that the master plan or the plan of the school in case of any structures. Because if you go to certain schools, there is buildings coming up without any plan until when another major project comes in, you feel like demolishing other buildings so that it gives room for the others. So I think what you are saying is, whom are we going to involve? Like now you are saying SIG committee are to sit and identify. And this is where Madam Lawrence also say we involve the members of the community because, you know, they know the place better. And, you know, again, when you put up a structure in a place, possibly you have to take care of the topography of the place so that you don't experience the landslide. I hope you are getting what you are saying. So I think that was a good point. Any other that we need to put in place because we are preparing to put up this structure?
That's about the DQ.
Now, who is speaking? I'm not getting that.
DQ.
Yes,
DQ.
Flores. Oh, yeah. Yes,
DQ.
PQ. Yes, correct. And possibly you can get PQ from Public Works, isn't it? Public Works can be able to give you the PQ so that you get to know the materials. And you know, the PQ is informed by the siting, where the building is going to be located, because there are places where it might require a lot of materials, and there is a place where it may not require a lot of materials. So PQ is related to the siting of the project. Correct. Now, any more? Now, because the other groups we might have a lot of to discuss, we can move to group 2. Because group 2, that group 1, you have donated 1 minute to group 2. Yes, group 2, the chair, introduce your, I know Lois was the chair. Unmute, pinya your microphone. Tunaona mdomo unaongea lakini hatusikii.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay, I'm the chair for group 2, and I'm now inviting Deborah Kanyora to report to us about the procurement procedures which a school leader can explore in undertaking the project, that is the procurement.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Deborah.
Good morning, members.
Morning.
Morning too.
Okay, ours was the procedure on how to procure the project. So the first one is to identify the ground And this one can be done by the reader of the institution and the BOM members. Then number 2, there is the advertisement for the project. The advertisement should at least attract many bidders as possible. So this one can be distributed to places like church, market, and other places, and this should be given 14 days. Then the other one is the opening of the tenders. And for the above, about the advertisement, there should be a tender box placed somewhere in the institution, most probably outside the office. So there is the opening of the tender. The committee is supposed to be formed. Those will be assigned for the opening of the tender, and they should be invited through a letter. The members should compose about 3 to 5 people. When they open the tender, they should write the report through a minute indicating each bidder. So this one, they will include the documents that the bidder has put and the quoted amount. Then the other one is the tender evaluation, where these ones will be members also selected, a maximum of 5 people. After that, there'll be the notification to both the losers and the winner. Then there'll be the signing of the contract. After that, we have the handing over of the ground to the contractor. The contractor now will conduct there'll be the conduct of ground breaking. Then afterwards, the head of the institution will continue monitoring what is happening. And after the completion, there'll be the handing over back to the work already completed. Then there will also be the payment of the same. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Deborah. I like the chronology, how it has started from the beginning to the end. Possibly before I make any comment, I wanted to hear from the members, because I was also a member of that group. Munena was there. Who else? Yes. Anything that possibly Deborah never captured? Members, Louis, the chair, you can also say if there was something Deborah have not captured that possibly we also never thought about it, but we have now remembered. So members.
I think Deborah has said it all.
Yes. Okay.
Who wants to include something else?
Yes. So we were opening to their members because something else could have cropped up through the presentation. Anyhow, yes, somebody is trying to speak. I'm not getting that. Yes, welcome, Rose.
Yes, I wanted to add that after awarding the tender,
Yes.
the contractor that you have awarded the tender must do it in writing to accept the tender.
Yes.
Acceptance of the tender awarded to him,
Yes.
and then the signing of the agreement and the contract in the presence of the SCDE and the Public Works Procurement Officer.
Thank you, thank you. And I guess you must be a head of institution, because these are actually real practice, and we wanted actually to get a picture of what is going on. So heads of institution, it is not the first time we are hearing this, and we wanted a practical aspect. Yes, so that is key, Rose. Thank you for that. It is an important information. Yes, any other, we are opening to the other group members. The other group members, before I also mention a few things. Group 1, Group 3, Group 4. Any contribution? Because at least we are charged with the responsibility of any procurement procedure that Deborah could have skipped. The room is silent. Now, I appreciate, actually, if you realize it is it is important, but I picked what Deborah was talking of. I think what is may not be concerning the procurement procedure is where she started with the ground. I think the ground was part of the preparation. You agree with me, Chair? I think it was part of preparation. So yes. So but it was a process of beginning. So you began with the ground, and I think we are donating that point to Group 1. Then in most cases, before even advertising or getting to know which procedure, because this is a part of, if you have taken a lesson on procurement, public procurement process, then what is important is to identify which method of procurement are you going to apply. And it is obtained through a procurement plan. So what we must note is that we must have a procurement plan, because it will tell us which method are we going to use. Then after that, you identify now, you form the committees. Who is forming the committees? It is head of institution, the accounting officer, appointing the committees. And the committees, I think boards of management are not members of these committees. So it is entirely the teachers who are heads of departments or heads of subject panels. Then the committees which are formed are open tender committee, evaluation committee, and then inspection and acceptance committee. So I think all the other procedures were quite okay. One thing I like even the way it was, the project was being handed over to the contractor and then handed over to the head of the institution. But now when it is handed over to the head of the institution, there is this committee which you are supposed to be using, inspection and acceptance committee. Let the committee assess and realize and establish whether all the finishing has been done, so that before payment, let this committee certify that all finishing and there's nothing which is incomplete. So that is that is very important, so that that committee will give you a report that in case there are areas to be completed, there are areas that requires, maybe it was not done very well, then it can be done. Then now it can be prepared for launching, because sometimes if it is ministry of education, there is the launching or the opening. So I think that is where I wanted the committee, acceptance committee, inspection and acceptance committee to play their role, so that the building is approved by that committee, that now the building is ready and it is ready for use and even ready for launching. So thank you, Lois and the team. You've done very well. And I think I forgot, let's begin appreciating this team by putting thumbs up. And we appreciate also the other group. I think that is something I never did yet. Thumbs up for group 2, thumbs up for group 1. Thumbs up for group 1. Thank you so much. Now, thank you so much. Now, can we go to group 3? The chair of group 3. Chair of group 3. Welcome, your secretary.
Okay, thank you very much for this chance. I want to invite Madam Mercy, who is our secretary, to take us through.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome, Mercy.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Mercy, take your floor. Mercy,
Oh, thank you.
welcome.
I'm going to present the group 3. Our question was the possible ethical practices that can occur when undertaking the project. So the first one, I'll start by what Faith said when everyone joined the group, and it was about corruption. So we know that corruption has been a menace in our country, and whenever it occurs, then it is done to benefit someone as a person. So the second one is failing to constitute a tendering committee, because this is unethical, and when it becomes a one-man show, whereby the school leader decides to do everything concerning finance alone, then that is unethical. Another one is failure to tender. Another one is not following the correct procedures when doing the constructions. We also came up with taking shortcuts when doing the work. We also talked about escalating prices of commodities. And we said that this can be done when someone wants to benefit. It's like you put higher prices than the normal ones so that you can leave something for yourself. And we said, nah, this is bad. So we also talked about giving tenders to unqualified constructors or unqualified personnel. Another one is poor quality materials. Yeah, that is it. Thank you. Thank you. That is all for group 3.
Thank you, Mercy, and thank you, the group. At least you have met your presentations, and some of them, although not limited to, I think we can still call upon the members if there is any other point that might have skipped your mind that you can contribute. Anthony and your team, any member who could be, because we want to see whether we've exhausted unethical. And you know, unethical issues, there are quite many. Yes. Yes.
I think that is what we had.
Yes, it's okay, but we are giving room to other members because ideas can still emerge. Okay, yeah. So if you think your members do not have any other idea, we can open up to the other groups. Group 1, group 2, group 4. Yes. Lucy, Banjiru, and John, just unmute. It is open. No, nobody is giving you permission. You give yourself the permission. Unmute. John Kangunju, your hand is up.
Yes.
Lucy, yeah. So now, Lucy, who can talk first? Lucy, talk first.
Yes.
Wacha Lucy
So
aongee
mine
kwanza.
was okay. Mine was on adhering to the BQ.
Yes.
Whereby you find some contractors may come up with their own things, measurements.
Yes.
And the second one.
Yes.
And the second one not following the advice from the public works officer.
Correct. I agree.
Failure
you know.
To, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, like failing to follow the PQ, even the measurements, you know, somebody can steal even 1 inch, and 1 inch means a lot in terms of materials.
Yes.
Tunasikia barabara ikijengwa, badala ya inchi 4 inakuwa inchi 2. So I agree, that is a valid point, and also not following the instructions given by the public works. I think that was a very, very good point, Lucy. Thank you so much.
Yes.
There was who? There was somebody waiting. Oh, John.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to say something?
Sometimes when you are tendering,
yes,
when you're opening the tenders, you fail to give to the right person. So maybe you use corruption at least when you are giving the person that you give for the person of your own choice, whom you have interest in.
Oh, maybe now we can bring, corruption was already mentioned, we can bring in interests, and even where also relatives are involved. Yes, so it is actually true. And somebody said, you know, even some people can also plan, you know, some even execution of corruption involves the planning. So some people even budget for the corruption. Somebody said you can still integrate the unethical process in the procedures, so that in the face value or in the simple eye, somebody may not be able to see. So thank you. So your hands down, John and Lucy. So I like the points. The points were very clear. They are very clear. And let's be able to watch, because they are quite, we cannot exhaust any other ethical issues that we cannot exhaust. But what is very important is where we embrace integrity in all those aspects. And what my brother Jonah mentioned is where interest. Beside the interest, then there is no problem. But now with interest, then that is where we have problems. Now, can we get the last group? Group 4, the chair of group 4, welcome your secretary.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning,
I
Ruben.
am Ruben Kinoti, the chair, Group 4.
Yes.
I want to take this time to welcome the chair, Madam Jane, to give the point from Group 4 concerning identifying the possible risk that can occur while undertaking the project.
Okay.
So welcome, Madam Secretary.
So Madam Jane, take the floor. Thank you, Kinoti.
All right.
Madam Jane, just unmute, then take the floor. She's having challenges?
Okay, am I clear now?
You are now clear. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Now, our group was looking at the possible risks that can occur while taking the above project, and we came up with the following points. Number one is acquiring poor quality materials for construction in the aim of probably of monetary gain, thus getting a very substandard building. Number two was failure to comply to legal procedure in construction. Number three was misappropriation of funds. Number four, insufficient expertise on workmanship. That is having people who are not experts in the work they are doing. Number five, we looked at weather condition that can jeopardize work, like the floods, heavy rains. And number six, we looked at poor project management by the contractor, who probably leaves the work to be done by the workers, but he does not manage. And number seven is poor supervision of the project by those that are concerned, the committee, and also the head of institution. And number eight, we also looked at the healthy condition of the workers, or maybe an outbreak that can can errato arise, thus maybe making the work goes wrong. And that is what we came up with. Thank you.
Jane, I still
Yes.
require you.
Yeah.
Possibly what you have mentioned
Yeah.
are the causes. Now, can you be able to identify even two? Because now it looks like I'm giving you an assignment alone. Because when I hear your presentation, much of it is the causes. Now, can you pinpoint a risk arising from those practices? Because those are what you have mentioned are practices. Maybe Rupen, don't be far away again because you have to rescue your sister.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we are getting
Hello.
you.
Yes.
Yes,
I
Rose.
think we are looking at the possible risks associated to the same.
Yes.
And I can add to that group the collapsing of the buildings if the
Correct.
work was shoddy.
Number one.
Yes, the chipping off of the floors, the leaking of the roofs
Correct.
can lead to death when it collapses as people are building and the occupants.
Correct.
Accidents as the debris fall over.
Yes.
The building may serve us for a very short time, then
Yes.
costing us a lot of unnecessary expenses.
Repairs.
Hizo ndizo chache tu zenye ninaweza muongezea.
Sasa, Jane, can you be the chair? Jane, you can be the chair. You are getting contribution now. So
Yes, I have
collapse of buildings. Yes. And even if wires have not been put well, then even fire outbreak can occur. You want to say something? I can open the forum now. Jane, you can open the forum so that we conclude. Yes.
Yes. I wanted to say that also the issue of funding, if the rooms are not well taken care of in terms of making the proper floors,
yes,
then there can be flooding. That is a risk.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Could there be any other? Jane, you've done very well. I think we want to appreciate you, but let me open still if there is one or two areas to other members who are not members of the group. Group 1, 2, 3. Can you add something before we appreciate this group for job well done? Why are members quiet? You know, you will struggle alone when you get this money to put up this project. Yes. Let's share. Jane, you want to add something? The other members are quiet.
There is a risk of auto jail where misappropriation of funds is concerned.
Yes.
There is a risk of one getting into jail.
Correct. Not even risky. It is definitely you will be jailed, but not you. I'm saying that person will be jailed. So
exactly.
it is, and even losing some people properties can also be tied to that, and they lose whatever they think they have gained. So it is correct. So I like that, but I wanted to consider this, that there is with that the risk is there is loss of money, there is loss of lives. Sometimes it can involve loss of money, loss of lives, and even loss of time. Even time is a factor that it can also be lost when we have those risks. And finally, loss of properties, because you can find a building collapsing or a building failing, requiring a repair when you think it should have even lasted a period of time because of that kind of a problem. Florence, your hand is up. You wanted to ask something?
Okay, I also wanted to say there is that aspect of corruption.
Yes.
And the people in the village can also lose animosity because of lack of transparency and involving even outsiders, especially when it comes to these casual workers. once you get the people to come and work in school, in a building, in a school, people tend to think the community need to be given space to participate in that is now social responsibility, where we promote now people who are around us.
Correct.
I was thinking it can be a risk, and they create some animosity within the society if you don't involve some people who are around to participate.
It's true.
In building and providing these casual workers. Yeah.
It's true. If it is a labor and labor is available, you involve the community, otherwise it can create conflict. And that conflict can also become a risk to the community, I mean to the school. So I think, thank you. Let me wind up. The groups have done very well, all the presentation, and they are very informative. So let's go on sharing this knowledge, and we gather more knowledge so that we practice and we improve on our practice. So thank you so much. Possibly, I'm seeing LD break is there. Okay. So possibly I may my screen was there. My screen was there. I shared my screen. I can still share it. I don't know what happened. Let me share. So before we wind up, there's the last activity which we are supposed, and we have done it. I've been reminded by Sami here that you are having an extended learning activity, and most of us have done it, but we wanted to share because we are not doing it right now. But can we be able to see the extended learning activity was stating identify strategies which a school leader can implement to effectively allocate resources in alignment with the school goals and priorities, ensuring optimal utilization and improve educational outcomes, which I can take it improved learning outcomes. So it is an activity which you have done, and I know you might not be having right now with you, but usually knowledge that you still remember is knowledge that you own it and you remain with you. So is there any person who remembers having done something on this and can be able to share? Mention some of the strategies, around 3 or even 1 strategy, which you think you can use in the allocation of resources aligned with school goals and even priorities in order to optimize the utilization of those resources and in a manner that it can lead to improved learning outcomes. So I need some members. Any person, I want to get 3 people. If I can get 3 people, then we are okay. Anybody who can share, Jen, you want to share? Yes, anybody? Just let me get somebody, because this is an activity you've already done, so that we can see areas where we can still improve on. And I know if you had done it and sent to beef up your e-portfolio as an artifact, then you can still improve. There is that possibility of editing. So welcome. Any member? Yes, Jen Muchiri. I'm always seeing your response. Yes, you want to say something? Just say something. It doesn't mean that you are perfect, but something you can share. What are these strategies that a school leader can be able to use? Particularly, the challenge is allocation of resources. Are we allocating resources where it is supposed to be allocated to trigger that learning outcomes? Yes, Rose.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
No,
welcome.
I think the first thing is to critically assess the needs of the school. Then you carefully plan,
yes.
You prioritize, and then you allocate the resources available.
Thank you so much. And then how do you be able to relate that it has led to improved in learning outcomes?
Come up again. I haven't got your question, sir.
Yes, do you, from how you've stated, is the
Yes.
identification of the needs and then allocating those into those areas. But I'm now saying, because the
Yes.
ultimate goal is seeing the improved learning outcomes. How do you now, from what you get the learning outcomes so that you can say now, this has led to this?
Okay. Now, I think the need affect the learner directly. And if it affects the learners directly, then you cannot reach out to the learning outcomes. So once you put in place that which is affecting the learner directly, then you are able to fix it. Once you fix it, then it becomes very easy to deliver the content to the learner. And once you deliver to the learner, then you see the improvement of the learning outcomes.
Yes. So you will find the performance of the learners, the grades of the learners, the competencies of the learners improving. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And what I have captured from you is identification of the needs. Yes.
Yes.
Any other person? Let me get one person, then the last one. Yes, Edwin. Edwin, your hand is up. Stanley. Hey, you are having two English names. Edwin Stanley. Yes. Welcome, Edwin. Your hand was up. You had to say something? Yes. Go ahead. I want to hear you.
Yes.
Go ahead. We are hearing you. Edwin, you have a challenge? Maybe your network is not serving you well. Now, can we? Yes.
One of the strategies is to develop a strategic plan.
Right.
Well,
yeah, go ahead. We are getting you.
Yeah, school leaders should create a comprehensive plan that outlines the goals and the objectives of the school, as well as the strategy for achieving them.
Okay.
And this plan should include the budget that clearly outlines how the resources will be allocated. Thank you.
Okay. I think Edwin's response is very comprehensive by itself, because you are beginning with a strategic plan and the strategies, and then the allocation of resources on those strategies. The learning outcome will definitely come, because you must, in the learning outcomes, you must have also stated the targets. So if the allocation of those resources into those strategic objectives and activities, and then they respond to the learning outcomes responding to that allocation of those resources, then it is key. So I believe that response is serving any other response that I may expect. It is comprehensive by itself. So thank you, Edwin. Thank you for that response. And then now, I don't think there is much. Possibly now, we shall give you a break. I'm still looking at my director. So possibly I want to get a feeling from the members. Is there anything that possibly in this review we might not have captured? Or how have we done it? It's like I need a feedback from you. And you're now free, because how have we handled this session? Is it beneficial, fruitful, educative? Now, you are free to unmute, or you don't have anything to say. Can you comment? Oh, Edwin, your hand is up. I don't know whether it is up from that time or now. It is up.
It's up now.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, the session was quite educative.
Yes.
And appropriate.
Thank you.
As we were doing it alone, this time we are getting very good ideas.
Yes.
Especially on that question where we are discussing. Members of the speaker very well, very good ideas. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Anthony, I saw you attempting to say something. Yes. Any other person with such a comment? Luis, your hand is up. You can say something, and even Jane. Luis, your hand is up. Just unmute.
Yeah, my take is the review was good and very comprehensive and very informative. I think you have summarized all what we went through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Yes, Luis.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The session has been very educative, and especially to me, because in my school, we are undertaking the procedures for procurement, because we have awarded a construction of one classroom. And it has been very educative to me, and I think I'll not fail in anything.
Thank you. So other than the learning we are taking, the practical aspect that you have something to take home. I think that is what Luis is saying. So thank you so much. Any other person who have not spoken, and if you don't speak in a session, then actually what do you say? Because at least this forum is open for everyone. Any other person who have not spoken, even in the groups? I know, don't ever go without saying anything. Simon Munene, you've decided to put on the chat. So some members possibly owing to where you are, and then you have said like review was comprehensive. That is Jane. Evelyn said was very informative. Kanja Stephen, yes, said it was nice review. Jerusha Wambui, it was very comprehensive. Rose, the review is very relevant on what the school leaders do on daily basis as the CEO of the school. Then Simon Munene, you've said that the review was very educative. I don't think, then Esther, it was very informative. Thank you so much. So let me keep now the parting shot that our schools, our success is the resource management. One is you do very well in resource management, performance comes. Performance learning outcomes are achieved easily in resource management. So let's leverage in in the resource management, and let's learn how best we can be able to manage our resources, then I'm telling you, you are going to get your results. Lois, maybe something you wanted to say? I'm seeing your hand is up. And my problem is, I don't know whether it is up now or it was up the other time. Lois, can you clear there? Are you putting the hand right now or the other time? Unmute. You need to unmute, yes. Just unmute. You have a problem, but it's okay. Who is speaking? So possibly, let me just release you now for a break. Then we are giving you, how long? So it is 30 minutes. So you are coming back at 11:30. So thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Let's meet again. I hope we shall meet physically. We are meeting online, but one day we are going to meet physically. Thank you and be blessed.
Thank you.
To ensure that now the program succeeds, because definitely it has to succeed. So we need to assist the teachers. We also need to assist the parents, because it is us they rely on. In most cases, they tell us it is you to tell us, it is you to guide us on what we are supposed to do as parents. So we need to get the right knowledge, skills, and also change of attitude.
I feel very strongly that these trainings, for example, the one we have with you, the increase program, is making us be very innovative. It is going to address my weaknesses. Very passionate on the ICT aspect, because we have realized that Kenya is on the 21st century skills, and our learners need also to have these skills.
Training is important, and especially to us school leaders, because we have to lead by example. So in CBC implementation, it is us to lead the other teachers. So we need to get the right knowledge, we need to get the right skills. Even the attitude we had before needs to be changed, so that we are able now to impart the right knowledge and skills to the teachers. When we acquire this knowledge also, it will help us to know what the approaches we are going to use to ensure that now the program succeeds, because definitely it has to succeed. So we need to assist the teachers. We also need to assist the parents, because it is us they rely on. In most cases, they tell us it is you to tell us, it is you to guide us on what we are supposed to do as parents. So we need to get the right knowledge, skills, and also change of attitude.
I feel very strongly that these trainings, for example, the one we have with you, the increase program, is making us be very innovative. It is going to address my weaknesses. Very passionate on the ICT aspect because we have realized that Kenya is on the 21st century skills, and our learners need also to have these skills.
Training is important, and especially to us school leaders, because we have to lead by example. So in CBC implementation, it is us to lead the other teachers. So we need to get the right knowledge, we need to get the right skills. Even the attitude we had before needs to be changed so that we are able now to impart the right knowledge and skills to the teachers. When we acquire this knowledge also, it will help us to know what the approaches we are going to use to ensure that now the program succeeds, because definitely it has to succeed. So we need to assist the teachers. We also need to assist the parents, because it is us they rely on. In most cases, they tell us it is you to tell us, it is you to guide us on what we are supposed to do as parents. So we need to get the right knowledge, skills, and also change of attitude.
I feel very strongly that these trainings, for example, the one we have with you, the increase program, is making us be very innovative. It is going to address my weaknesses. Very passionate on the ICT aspect because we have realized that Kenya is on the 21st century skills, and our learners need also to have these skills.
Welcome, members. I hope you are ready. Just by show of, I don't know, by hands or by shouting, you say you are ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you are ready? Simon Munene, on behalf of the others, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
And the others are ready also. So welcome, members. We want to get into the next session, which is going to be led by our sister co-coordinator, Madam Rebecca. So welcome, Madam Rebecca.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen. I would like to share the slides, and I welcome all to this session. And once again, I would like to say that I congratulate all of you for being able to finish, because you have also finished the learner and staff welfare, which we are going to review. So we are just reminding ourselves what we did, what we have already covered. I want this review to be interactive. So learner and staff welfare. You remember we said that it is the support that is offered to the learners and staff in an educational environment to enhance their well-being in the school. So we find that as education managers, it is our responsibility to take care of the runners and the staff welfare. We are supposed to ensure that we take care of the needs of the staff and also of the runners. For running to take place, we ensure that their welfare is taken care of. So we have to support the runners, because we realize that they live in a community and they are faced by many issues in the school and even outside the school. Also the teachers, that is the teachers and the non-teaching staff, they live in a community and there are various issues that they are faced with. And therefore, we as education managers, we are supposed to ensure that we offer support. We offer support. And in this unit, we shall be looking at the introduction, which I've already started, the introduction for 10 minutes. Then we will go into our groups discussion. In those group discussion, we shall be given questions. Each and every group will have a different question. And in those groups, you will take 15 minutes. Then after discussing in those groups, you will come back. And when you come back, we will have a plenary. Each group will take 12 minutes in presenting. So, and then we will have some time, a little bit, looking at the extended activity. You have already done it, but it's important that we review and see whether whatever you uploaded is what was expected. So in this review, these are the areas that we covered. We covered the psychosocial support for runners. And in this case, the psychosocial support usually refers to the services. These are the services and the interventions that are designed to ensure that the runners are taken care of. Their psychological and social well-being is taken care of. And in this case, as education managers, we need to ensure that the psychological aspect of the runners and also the social aspect of these runners is taken care of. For example, it is good that we ensure that in our schools we have guidance and counseling services. We have a department with a qualified teacher or a teacher who has been capacity built on guidance and counseling, who can offer support to those runners who are experiencing psychological issues, who are experiencing mental issues, so that they are able to cope, It is also important that in our schools, we ensure that we have, for example, peer counseling, whereby the runners are offered peer support, whereby the runners themselves, they assist one another so that they're able to overcome the challenges that they encounter while they are in schools. And then also psychosocial support can be offered whereby we ensure that our runners are engaged. We ensure that they are engaged in, for example, group activities. When they are engaged in group activities, for example, in the field, we find that they are able to overcome the challenges that they encounter. So there are several ways in which we can offer psychosocial support for our runners. So it aims to helping the runners manage emotional, mental, and also the social challenges that they encounter. And not only the runners, even the teachers. Even the teachers, they also have social, emotional, and even mental challenges while they are in school. And it is important that we ensure that we are also supporting them. Then the school health and safety, we looked at it. And in school health and safety, we realize that in our schools, we need to take care of the health of the learners. For example, when we are offering them meals, I know in junior school, we have feeding programs. We need to ensure that the food that the learners are eating is balanced. And also when they are sick, they are able to access health care. Those are the issues that we looked at in school health. We ensure that the learners are taking nutritious meals, not forgetting safety, school safety. We are supposed to ensure that our schools are safe for our learners. And a case in point, what happened, is it yesterday? We need to ensure that our schools are safe so that we minimize cases that can endanger the lives of the runners. We ensure that when we are coming up with the infrastructure should adhere to the requirements that are laid down by the government. It was very sad what happened. And it is our responsibility as education managers to ensure that our schools are safe. That is, we are ensuring that we are following what has been specified. And also we ensure that the infrastructure is safe, no buildings are collapsing, so that our runners can be safe. We ensure that our runners are protected even when they are in school, they are safe. Because if the runners are not safe, they will not even be happy. They would not even want to come to those schools. They will be scared. So we should ensure that the schools are safe. The schools should, the classrooms should be inspected from time to time. And when you realize that, for example, there are cracks, then we should do what? We should ensure that we are doing what? We are repairing them. And then if it is the issue of fire can occur anywhere. And we have seen there are so many causes of fire outbreaks in schools. And it is good that we be prepared for such eventualities. Let us ensure that we have, for example, gadgets, or for example, we have put in place measures on how we can be able, if it is a fire outbreak, we are able to ensure that we put off the fire. And also we ensure that our runners are prepared. They know what to do in case of a fire outbreak. Let us ensure that our runners are prepared. We can ensure that we perform drills in our schools if we are able to. We perform drills so that our runners are ready for such eventualities. And also we looked at staff management. This also will help us in ensuring that the teachers that we have in our schools are well managed. And this will start from the recruitment. We ensure that we recruit the right staff, the qualified staff who have the right skills to teach our runners. And then after recruiting them, we just don't give them work. It is important that we induct them, because the induction that a teacher gets is the one that helps them to settle in the school. And when a teacher is well inducted, we find that this teacher will be able to get along well in the school. And like those who just get into the system and they are given a class to teach without even induction. So, and also we should ensure that we motivate those teachers. The teachers, when they are motivated, we find that they will be able to do what? They will be able to teach. Maybe on our chats, you can post something else that we can do to our teachers to enable them be able to teach as part of staff management. What have you been doing to your teachers to ensure that you take care of their welfare in terms of staff management? Can you post something on the chats? I think I've talked too much about it. Yes, sorry, I was muted a bit. I was asking how about the school safety? What are we going to ensure that we put in place, that we now heard what happened yesterday? You can see another response on management, staff management, appreciating them verbally and also through giving them some financial support, taking them out. That one we can leave it to that. How about safety? What should we do? In terms of safety of our runners? Anybody can raise their hands. Or maybe mention something on the charts. I think you are Florence Kinya, unmute yourself and talk to us. Florence, unmute yourself.
Okay, I think you can hear me now.
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm saying with the school safety, we can have self-awareness, installing of fire extinguishers, and ensuring that runners are made aware on how to handle those situations when they come. That is, we can do capacity building to these learners and also help them now to know that aspect of problem solving.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Florence. We should ensure that we have firefighting equipment, like you have given an example of a fire extinguisher. And then even with those fire extinguishers in place, we need to ensure that there is somebody who can be able to operate them. So we need to educate our runners or even a staff member. And we ensure that we are also making sure that we don't have faulty electricity lines, or when we are engaging people to put up the electricity, we ensure that we engage an expert so that we avoid cases of faulty lines that can cause fires. Okay, I can only see another point. We can install firefighting equipment in the charts and then add more security. Moses, you want to say something?
Yeah.
You can go ahead. Yes.
In case of boarding schools,
Yes.
there are cases where you find that the dormitories the beds are so squeezed. We should make sure that we give enough spaces so that in case of an accident, the runners can have the safety. Again,
yes,
if there's the windows do not have grills.
Very good.
And they should be wide enough such that they can even be able to escape through the windows. Then when it comes to the doors,
yes,
they should open towards outside and not inside.
Okay.
And if possible, they should be 2 in number.
Okay.
That is that they can open on 2 ways.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my input.
Yes, thank you very much for the contribution. And
Yeah.
the reason why the doors should open outside, I know you know the reason why. Is
Yeah.
that so? Yes.
This one, in case of an accident, as they run out, they can trample to one another. But once the doors are opened outside, actually, it is not easy for the doors to close inward.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very good. But now we find that some of our schools, we have not yet complied. It is important that we ensure that we comply because cases of fire.
I'm speaking of the same
Uh-huh.
because that's what is in my school.
Okay.
And very soon we are going to install the fire extinguisher because the
That
school
is
is still
good.
going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is very important to ensure that the doors and the windows do not have grills, so that when
Yeah.
a fire occurs, the runners can be able to escape. And not only the runners, even the teachers.
Yeah,
Even
the teachers also need security.
Yes. And
Thank
those
you.
schools, and then those schools that are boarding, we ensure that there is somebody in charge who is moving around, trying to see what might be happening. Because now these cases happen usually at night. And it is important we have somebody who is overseeing what is happening at night, so that in case of danger, the runners can be alerted to escape. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else? Teachers be present as their duties, even at night. Yes, those who are on duty at night should ensure that they are on duty, for example, for the boarding junior schools. Anything else? Anything else? Thank you, participants, for that. So the next thing that we are going to look at is that we have the questions, and we will discuss. The questions are 4, and each group will we will break into our breakout rooms as we will be guided by our IT person. The first question is on identifying the challenges learners in our schools might face that could impact on their well-being and successful transition into junior school. We find that there are so many challenges that our learners face, and these challenges would impact on their well-being and even hinder them from transitioning into junior school and even proceeding. So those challenges will be identified by 1. So when you get into the groups, you identify a secretary and the chair. The chair will guide the others on coming up with the points, and then the secretary will note those points. When we come back to the plenary after 15 minutes, the secretaries of each group will present. So that is the question that will be discussed by group 1. This question will also be sent into the chats, identifying the challenges learners in your school might face that could impact on their well-being and successful transition into junior schools. We know there are many challenges. We know our learners are faced with many challenges that could hinder them from transitioning into junior school. Those are the issues that you will discuss in that group. Then we shall have another group, that is group 2, that shall identify the strategies that a school leader can employ to effectively foster a supportive psychosocial environment. You identify strategies as a school leader you can employ to effectively foster a supportive psychosocial environment, enhancing the well-being and successful transition of the runners. So you will come up with those strategies that can be employed to foster a supportive psychosocial environment. That will be done by group 2. Again, you do the same. You have a chair and a secretary who will note the points. And then when we come back to the plenary, the group secretary will do the presentation. Then we have group 3. Group 3, they will have a case study. This case study, we have Sahara, the new head of institution of Mazuri Junior School. Maybe we can have one participant to read for us this case study. Anyone who can read for us? Evelyn, unmute yourself. I was also muted, but now I think you're able to hear me.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Sahara, the new head of an institution at Mazuri Junior School, discovers that the new school building is in poor condition, suffering from inadequate ventilation and insufficient toilet facilities. Additionally, there is a notable lack of consistent adherence to health protocols, including hand washing and sanitation practices among students and staff. What immediate steps can Sahara take to address the critical health and safety issues at Mazuri Junior School?
Okay, thank you very much. So, group 3, you will do that case study. And then we have group 4. Somebody to read for us question number 4. Who will read the question? Rose, go ahead.
Okay. How can you as a school leader effectively empower and support school staff to enhance collaboration? Number 2, professional development. And number 3, job satisfaction.
Okay, thank you. So that is one question, but it has 3 areas. So as a school leader, how can you empower and support school staff to enhance collaboration? Part 2 of that question, how can you as a school leader effectively empower and support school staff to enhance professional development? And again, the same school leader, how can you effectively empower and support school staff to enhance job satisfaction? So we look at those 3 areas. And then when we come to plenary, the secretary will do the presentation. So I want us to be guided by our IT person as he forms those breakout rooms and places us into those breakout rooms. Let's ensure that when we get to the groups, we give ideas so that we have a good presentation when we come back to the plenary. Welcome, Sami.
Thank you, Madam Rebecca. We can now join the group. If you cannot remember your question, check on the chat box. I always post the questions there. So I will break you to breakout rooms.
Welcome back to plenary. You can see we are back. Maybe we can start with group 1. So group 1, your 12 minutes starts now. We'll be taking us through the challenges learners encounter that could impact on their well-being and successful transition to junior school.
Okay, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I think we are not able to hear. Group 1 members.
Yes.
We are present.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
So
Rose.
we are looking at the challenges the learners in our schools might face that would impact on their well-being to successfully transit to junior. The first point was unsupportive parents, since they don't understand the new system of education. Number 2, lack of enough teachers to address the different learning areas. Number 3, uncertainty of the continuity of the new curriculum, that is the CBC. lack of proper retooling of manpower and all the stakeholders, the negative attitude by the parents and the learners, lack of enough resources to support the new curriculum, drug and substance abuse affecting the concentration in class, age group, peer pressure, family conflicts affecting the learning environment. The other thing affecting is poverty, early marriages, teenage pregnancies, making the learners to drop out of school, absenteeism triggered by poverty, lack of enough learning materials, insecurity in the schools that we are, radicalization of the learners before they transit to the next level. Then we have the fear of unknown, as they do not know what is awaiting them in the next level of their education. Those are the points that we had as group 1.
Very good. Very well explained. And thank you, Rose. We can appreciate her. Let's react in the reaction section. We appreciate that group. And then, is there any point that they have forgotten? Or maybe that you would want to add to what they have discussed? Anybody who would want to add? So in addition to what Rose has mentioned, she has mentioned many issues, and that is very good. We also have some learners can fail to transition or continue with their academics as a result of poor physical health. Some of them could be having health issues, and because of lack of psychosocial support, this could hinder them from transitioning. So it is important that we identify those learners who could be having physical health issues so that we also assist them. And then we also find that, as she has mentioned, issues to do with cultural barriers. You have mentioned several examples about the culture of some communities. I didn't hear you mention about bullying and peer pressure. This can also cause these learners to drop out and not transition to junior school. Those schools whereby we have some learners who bully others, we find that the learners, some of them might, those who are being bullied can do what? They can drop out. Also, peer pressure can influence some of them to do what? To drop out. And then learning disability. We find that all learners are not the same. We have those who are time takers. And sometimes when they are in our schools, if they are not handled well, they are likely to drop out. We find that it is important that we ensure that we are taking care of each and every learner's ability. Those who are, for example, time takers, we ensure that we encourage them and we offer support. For example, we can offer remedios, or we use IEP, individualized education program for them, so that they are able to catch up with the others. We are supposed to ensure that we encourage them so that they don't drop out. Thank you, group 1. Do we have anybody else with something that they can add to group 1? If there is nothing, then we can proceed to group 2. Group 2. Group 2 members. Group 2 members,
Yes,
we are looking at the strategies school leaders can employ to effectively foster a supportive psychosocial environment. What strategies? Let's hear from Group 2 Secretary and the Chair.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, in Group 2 we came up with the 4 points. Point 1, initiate a guidance and counseling team to help them in case of issues of stress, and also while they are choosing their career pathways, they may be confused, so we need a guidance and counseling team to help them in that. Number 2, we came up with the with the point of creating a welfare for them. In case one is sick, like in our school, we have a welfare group where if any runner gets sick, we come up and contribute 50 shillings, and then we can assist in the parent in any way. We can maybe buy something or help in buying fruits. Number 3, we came up with the point of creating a suggestion box where the runners can air their views, can put their views there, and then the necessary can check and see what we can do about that. Then 4, initiate co-curricular activities. After lessons, they can go for games, debate clubs, and all that, so that they can also have time to relax from the classes. Number 5, we came up with have active clubs according to their wishes. So this one also makes them break from their classroom boredom. Number 6, we also came with we can initiate ICT programs. Then another point, sensitize parents to understand the adolescent stage of the runners, because sometimes in the adolescent stage, they have a lot of problems. So it's good to sensitize the parents so that they can be able to support them, give them moral support. Another point we came up with, we can also come up with the mentors and mentees. Another point, support them morally and materially, and also spiritually. Maybe by initiating a pastoral program, they can also get nourished spiritually. And then another point, we can also establish a school governance, whereby we select leadership so that they can also be able to take the learners' problems to the administration, because we cannot have everyone to go to see the administration. So we can select the leadership so that they can also be able to, the learners can be able to air their views, and then the leadership can take that to the administration. And those were our points in group 2.
Thank you very much, Faith, for those points well explained and the practical things that you can employ, foster a supportive psychosocial environment. Let's appreciate them and react in the reaction section. Let's appreciate them, clap for them, give them thumbs up, and for that. And then let's have any other person contributing. Any other person contributing to that? Simon, you want to speak? Simon Mwangi, unmute and tell us something. Simon Mwangi, what other strategies can they employ?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Anthony Mwangi is speaking. Anthony Mwangi.
Hello, madam.
Yes, any other strategy that you can give?
I think she has given all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other person? So,
Hello.
In addition to what Faith has said, she has talked about many things. For example, she has talked about establishment of guidance and counseling, which is very true. She has also talked about having various programs and also having clubs and societies so that these runners can be engaged, and this will take care of their psychological and mental issues. We also need to ensure that our staff, we have in these guidance and counseling departments, we have a trained staff who can offer support to these runners so that they're able to handle various issues that they encounter. And also, we can also have the peers, we have peer support programs whereby the runners themselves, they are trained, for example, so that they are able to assist one another. They should have skills so that they are able to assist one another when they are in the school. So it is important that we have peer counseling, whereby the runners themselves can assist one another. And again, in addition to what Faith has said, we should ensure that we have the family being engaged and even the community. After we have established some issues with the runners, it is important that we invite the parents to the school so that we discuss with the parents to see how a runner can be assisted. Then promoting a healthy school life balance. There is a saying that says that what makes Jack a dull boy? You can remember? Simon, tunasema nini?
Work without play make Jack a dull boy.
Thank you, Simon. That all work without play makes Jack a dull boy. So apart from the academics, let us ensure that the runners are being developed holistically. Let us ensure that we have co-curricular activities in the school so that the runners can be engaged. After learning, after having that academic, the academic part of it, let them go to the field. They go to the field, they exercise, they vent out, and they release stress. What else can they do? Then we have, we establish crisis management committee. We find that sometimes it is inevitable to have crisis in the school. So it is important that we have people in the school, that is amongst the staff, who can assist and maybe have a program for them, and we capacity build them such that when a crisis occurs in the school, we will not be on our own. They will assist us. Even the community can come in handy in helping us managing the crisis. And I hope you saw what happened, whereby the community was able to come in handy, the school that had a crisis just yesterday. They came in handy and they assisted. And I hope in the school they also had a crisis management system. And that is why they were able to handle and maybe reduce the consequences of the crisis. Thank you. So we move on to group 3. Group 3, it was a case study now.
Okay, I was waiting for the chairman to welcome me of the group. Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
I
Florence.
hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Now, this is a school leader who has been posted newly to an institution, has a lot of charge on the poor condition in terms of ventilation. That is, now we can also talk about sanitation, hygiene, because of lack of washing points. So we found out that illness will affect the access, the attendance, and the detention in learning institution. So we have come up with some safety measures and what the school leader is supposed to do in case you are posted to church or school. The first thing, the teacher is supposed to call the staff meeting, form an healthy committee with one of the teacher being in charge of that committee. Also try to have the learners be informed on their risk when they are not washing hands. And because it does not cost much, the newly posted teacher can start by installing water points where the learners can be washing their hands. And then after that, the teacher can call the BOM to identify the gaps so that in case of support, the parents will also be called to contribute so that at least the school can have ventilation. Also, it is also important to have networking, especially with the elderly caregivers and providers. And once the parents also are called as they contribute, they are made aware that their children are prone to diseases like now the COVID, the dysentery, cholera, and those other diseases. So they also, the head teacher also must in that meeting ensure that there is also parental empowerment so that they can also own the whole issue and then start up in promoting the health issues and safety in the school. And also it is also important that they try to improve on the areas that they can do even without money. That is, if they are the toilets or the sanitation areas, they have some peer-to-peer capacity building so that the runners themselves can understand the dangers of not bathing those hands, and also ensure that the alumni can also be called to help in providing of funds, maybe because the area is very poor, there is a lot of poverty in the area, so the alumni can be involved so that they can help in this capacity building as well as material things to cater for the school and help in installing ventilation, because this is like an emergency. So I think that is what we came up with. And also, can we also involve the public health officer? Maybe they can also hand advise as well as provide areas in where the teacher can source for resources to ensure that the school is well provided with those necessary things that are needed to make sure that there is no health issues that crops in that school, because some diseases are very contagious, especially when it comes to hygiene. Learners should be taught on the hygiene and then the reason why they should wash their hands and use the toilets and clean them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Florence, for that wonderful presentation. And she has done justice to that case study. Let's appreciate them react or the reaction section. You have done a good job. So sometimes you might find yourself in such a school. And maybe you are in such a school already. We have poor conditions, suffering from inadequate ventilation. Like I think that those are the classrooms. Insufficient toilet facilities. And then lack of consistent adherence to health protocols, including hand washing, sanitation practices among students and staff. And she has really tried to come up with steps on how, on what she can do. She talked about a meeting, forming a committee, informing runners about the risk, installing water points. And then she also mentioned that she can't do that without her involving the boards of management. So it is important that you work closely with the boards of management, because they are the ones who will help you to mobilize resources. They will help you get to the alumni that you're talking about. Since you have just joined the institution, you might not be aware that we have alumni. So they will help you in maybe establishing hand washing points. So they will help you mobilize resources so that you're able to put up the hand washing points, because we find that hand washing has come in handy. For example, during COVID, many schools established many hand washing points, but we find that nowadays they have run dry. The taps are there, but no water flowing. It's important that, as she has said, in that school, they needed to establish the hand washing. Even us in our schools, let us ensure we have them. Even though we are not in this Mazuri Junior School, those schools that are like Mazuri, let us ensure that we have hand washing points. We know that it helped us during COVID, and it will help us even now because we have many infectious diseases that are coming up, including the mpox, which can also be prevented using washing of hands. Sanitation, we ensure that the toilets are enough. Faith, the presenter has said that they needed to construct more toilets, because if the toilets are not sufficient, even the runners cannot be comfortable, because, for instance, the girls, we find that they need enough toilets, and these toilets should have privacy so that these runners can be comfortable. So we ensure that we ensure that there are toilets. So the steps that were discussed are adequate, but in case we have somebody who would want to add, anybody who would want to add to those steps that were mentioned, anything else that you think the head of institution can put up? Faith Karemi. Faith Karemi.
I would also want to add on the construction of the toilets. They should construct the toilets on a safe ground to avoid contamination of water.
Very good.
And also, they can sensitize the parents about deworming their parents after 6 months. Yes, I have those 2 points.
Yes, Faith, thank you very much for adding those points, especially the one of water. We ensure that the water is not contaminated. We have had schools closed down because of water. They get poisoned as a result of water mixing up with the sewage. I don't know whether you have had such a case. So it is important that we ensure that the water that we are providing for our runners, it is safe for drinking. We have also talked about deworming. It is important that our runners are dewormed from time to time. Thank you very much, Faith, and your group. That was a good presentation. And then we have another group 4. Group 4, they are looking at steps. Steps. How can school reader effectively empower and support school staff to enhance 1, collaboration, 2, professional development, and 3, job satisfaction? How can you as a school reader effectively empower and support school staff to enhance collaboration, professional development, and job satisfaction? Yes, Anthony, welcome.
Madam, I think I am in group 4. I'm not in group 4.
Oh, then mute yourself.
I'm in group 1 and we presented our.
Okay, thank you. Anthony, mute yourself. Let's welcome group 4 members, the chair and the secretary. The floor is yours. Your 12 minutes starts now.
Master Nyakeo and your group, we are waiting for you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon,
in group 4, we're discussing about how can a school leader effectively empower and support school staff to enhance collaboration. And under collaboration, you have said the school leader can embrace team building activities where the staff work together and adapt to the changing circumstances. We also have encouraging peer teaching and training, where in such a situation we have some peers who are trained on specific content, so they can share and foster the outcomes will be better. Then under professional development, we have said we can have seminars for capacity building where the staff are taken to seminars and they are taught. We also have institutional-based training and growth to its staff or her staff. Then the last one is job satisfaction, where we have the school leader can engage the staff in decision making, where they will feel that they are part and parcel of what has happened. Then they can embrace mentorship and motivation. In case of a challenge, they open communication between the staff and the school leader. That is what we have. Thank you for listening.
Very well. Thank you, Evelyn, for that good presentation. Let's appreciate Evelyn and the group. You have done a good job. You have explained all the 3 areas. Let's react to that presentation. And then after that, anybody who would want to contribute towards enhancing collaboration, a school reader, how can a school reader enhance collaboration?
Hello.
Yes, James.
Thank you very much, Madam. I also thought that on collaboration issues, the school can establish linkages with the significant stakeholders like alumni.
Very good.
That is on collaboration. On professional development.
Yes.
The school leader could also enhance institutional-based quality assurance.
Catherine, kindly mute.
Yes, hello?
Yes, continue.
That will give the teachers an opportunity to practice on the right pedagogical skills.
Very good, James.
Because anytime you get to lesson observation or any other aspect of IMBQA, you will be able to identify the existing gaps and subsequently address them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, James. And maybe to add on to what James and Evelyn have said, we should ensure that there is teamwork. We encourage teamwork, which was brought out by Evelyn. We ensure that there is teamwork in the school, and also we ensure that we share the vision of the school. So if I know the school leader is the one who is supposed to share the vision. Where do you want the school to be? How do you want the performance? What are the targets? Work with the teachers, communicate the vision so that they can all work together to realize the vision. So also collaboration can be created through, or we can enhance collaboration through activities. We have what? Team building activities. We ensure that, for example, from time to time, we are taking our teachers out so that we build a team so that the teachers can be able to work as a team. Because even the teaching, the non-teaching staff, everybody has a responsibility. Everybody has a responsibility or they have a role to play for the school to succeed. So it is important that we cultivate collaboration. Then professional development, it was well explained by Evelyn, and we should ensure that we are providing capacity development for our teachers. Just like we are being offered capacity development as school leaders, let us ensure that in our schools we have institutional professional development, or we can also ensure that our teachers are joining other teachers when they are going for capacity development so that they also get developed. And when they come to your school, they will surely deliver. So let us ensure that we are allowing them to attend. We facilitate them to go for workshops, to go for seminars when the other teachers are attending. Then about job satisfaction, how can we ensure that, or how can we enhance that? It was also explained well. but I didn't hear her talk about rewarding. Let us ensure that we reward achievements. We have those teachers who perform exemplary. For example, those teachers who perform well in their exams, whose runners perform well in their exams. Let us ensure that we are doing what? We are rewarding them. It is important that we plan. Yes, when we are budgeting, let us ensure we budget for motivation. We motivate our teachers by ensuring that we reward them. And that is not only for the teachers, even the runners who are performing well, let us ensure that we reward them. Even creating a supporting environment can enhance job satisfaction. For example, let us ensure that we are taking care of those teachers. It can be simply done by ensuring that they have, for example, some tea. Ensure that there is tea for them so that they feel that they are taken care of. You can even provide them with lunch. You know, there's somebody who is unmuted. If you, James, mute yourself. Thank you for muting yourself. So we ensure that we are providing them with lunch, for example. And that can be an issue for teachers. If you don't provide them with lunch, they might not be motivated to be in your school. So let us ensure that we provide them. Then also the issue of life-work balance. We also know that they have families. So when they have issues, let us allow them to attend to their issues, and then they come back and continue teaching our runners. Any other points? I know you have a lot of ideas in this because this is what you have been doing. Anybody who want to close that discussion? You can even mention on the chats. Rose, you want to speak?
Yes, I wanted to add the issue of providing them with information. Now that the head of institutions are outgoing, they provide the teachers with information and also time of the available courses that they can upgrade themselves in. And then on the side of collaboration, the head of institution can also help to open up linkages with the different agencies that can really uplift the teachers from one level to another. That's all that I have.
Thank you, Rose, for that input. That is good. And so it is important that we ensure that we provide a good environment for our teachers. This will enhance their job satisfaction. And then for the few minutes that are remaining, let's look at what you prepared for your extended activity. You were expected to prepare a one-term psychosocial support plan for runners and start in school and staff in the school, indicating the role of the school leader in the plan. So a psychosocial plan, what did you prepare? Anybody who can give us the components of this psychosocial support plan that you prepared for your school? So it is like a program that you are expected to do what? To prepare on how you are going to offer psychosocial support. And we have different ways in which you can prepare a psychosocial support plan. There is no prescribed format. But maybe we can hear from you, members. What did you prepare? Before I I give you my thoughts. Faith Karemi, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Okay, for me,
yes,
I first started with initiating guidance and counseling. And then every Friday we have pastoral program. And then after lessons from 3:20 to 4:30 there, we go for games. That is the co-curricular activities.
Yes.
And then I also make sure that I have school governance. So we selected leaders, the president, the vice, and then the other prefects to assist the teachers.
Yes.
Then we also arrange for academic clinics where the parents can come to school, and also we can now sit down with them and plan about the welfare of their runners.
Yes.
And then also we have organized at the end of every term, we have a school fun day so that the children can relax, enjoy themselves. And also taking the staff out sometimes for lunch where they can also relax.
Yes.
And also we have the welfare for the teachers and the runners where we can support them in case one has lost a loved one or maybe they are sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Faith, for accepting to share your plan. You can also see Charles wants to share his shows. Joey, unmute yourself.
On my side,
Yes.
on my side, I did it weekly, whereby all Mondays, I start with the morning assembly, whereby the Bible verses and songs are done to take care of the spiritual growth of the children and the teachers. Then in the evening after lessons, I take them for co-curriculum activities to ensure their physical development.
Yes.
Then Tuesdays, I initiate what I refer to as guidance and counseling, where I initiate the rooms with the qualified guidance and guidance teachers to take care of boys and those for girls. Then Wednesdays, every Wednesday, I start the day at 6:50 a.m. to 8:10. There is always a mass, which is also presided over by the parish priest, also to ensure the spiritual growth of those children. In the evening, once again, I take care of the physical development of those runners. That is on Wednesdays, where they go for games and such. Then all Wednesdays, all Thursdays, I initiate the clubs and societies where learners are able to engage and join clubs and societies of their own wish. Then Fridays, initiating pastoral program of instructions in addition to the morning program, whereby I invited, or sometimes I invite the religious educational advisors. My school is a Catholic sponsored, and so we have such to come and talk to those children and the motivation speakers. That was a subordinate case of a weekly program. In the evening, we have the games and sports once again, which cascades across the whole term to ensure the mental, the physical, and the emotional aspects of those learners are taken into consideration. That was my take.
Very well. Thank you, Charles, for sharing your psychosocial plan. It is a very good one, and I think each one of us has a brand, and I believe you will go and redo your psychosocial plan. So what I have been able to capture from the presentations that they have made, they have talked about this psychosocial plan. For example, the Charles has talked about organizing it in weeks. That is, maybe you can have a plan whereby you organize what will be done every week, because you have been told to prepare for a whole term. I don't know, maybe you all know a term has how many weeks, so you have what to be done in every week. And in every week, you have an objective. It is important that in that psychosocial support plan, you have an objective that you intend to achieve in a particular week. Then, as a school leader, it is important to note the resources that you would require to be able to achieve that objective that you have maybe mentioned. And then the target group, which group do you want to handle? It is important if it is all the students you mentioned in that plan. And then what is the expected outcome after you have done the morning devotions, that is during assembly? What is the expected outcome? If you have brought a speaker to talk about mental illness, what is the group, or for example, the target group, the resources, the activity? All that should be mentioned. What is the objective? So you are supposed to prepare a plan, whereby in that plan you indicate if you want to break the term in weeks, break it into weeks. Then what objective do you want to acquire in those weeks? And then the activity that will be involved in each and every week. And then what is the target group that you will handle in the week that you have given, and what is the expected outcome? What is the expected outcome that you expect? So you carry out that plan for a whole term, just as the colleagues have explained. And then you upload the image of that plan in the guided section. So I hope that is what you did. And if that is not what you did, there is still room for improvement, because they have not been assessed. It is important that if that is not what you did, you go and maybe do your work, you review your work, because we are doing the review, and then you upload again. I don't know whether there is anybody who wants to say something before we wind up. I could give you a chance. You say something as we conclude. Anyone? So I think there is no other comment or addition. I want to welcome our team leader, Mr. Barakwang, to wind up the session.
Thank you, Madam Rebecca, for that very captivating presentation. And thank you, members. I realize you are very knowledgeable. The kind of information you've shared, it is very impressive. And it is my hope that you practice all that you are saying. But if you are sharing your experience, then that was good. Otherwise, I think that is that for today. I'm simply reminding you still that tomorrow it is an important day, because I just want to find out the members. Members are below. In fact, we are missing around 20 members, around 28 members. So can we share through other forums that tomorrow it is very important, because we are still going to discuss two other course requirements that should be important that you get, so that you fulfill the course requirement. Otherwise, I know today these members possibly to engage in one or two activities, but please, I would always encourage you. This is a program that you are privileged to be involved and sponsored, and therefore, any other time getting such opportunity, you utilize properly. So for members who have been absent, I don't know why, but for sure, they owe themselves an explanation to why they were absent. Otherwise, tomorrow, I believe you are going to keep time. We are starting at 2. My director, I think it is at 2. So 30 minutes to 2, you ensure you prepare your gadget, you load the bundles, and stay tuned. And another thing, again, tomorrow we are receiving our seniors, the county directors, during the closing assembly or closing, because it is like a closure. So during closing assembly, we have our CEO, we have the county director, PPOP, we are having the county directors, Ministry of Education, all the counties that are involved. So please, it is important also to be present so that you can get a word from those seniors of ours. Otherwise, thank you so much. Can we get a volunteer to pray as we break? A volunteer, please. Another ordained person, because we had an ordained elder this morning. You've left me in the room, or what is happening? Am I alone? Somebody to pray for us. Florence.
Okay,
Kinya.
let's pray. Thank you, Reverend. Almighty and everlasting Father, in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ, we are humbled for the presence that you have been with us. Thank you, dear Lord, because you have taken us through this course. And now we want to believe that, dear Lord, our stay in the meeting is not in vain, that we are going to do, my Father, according to what we have learned. We do pray, my Father, as we part only our body, but spiritually you unite us tomorrow, Jehovah God, for the remaining bit of our course. We dedicate each and everyone before you, dear Father. Bless our facilitators, Jehovah God. Bless the participants, Jehovah God, so that, Jehovah God, we are going to do what we are supposed to do as we part from and complete the course. We thank you even for the sponsors who have sponsored us to be in this kind of training, and it has been of use to us, and we know, Jehovah God, we are not going to be the same again. We thank you and we honor you. It is in Jesus' name we pray, believe, and trust. Amen.
Amen. Amen. And be blessed, Florence. Be blessed. Thank you.
Training is important, and especially to us school leaders, because we have to lead by example. So in CBC implementation, it is us to lead the other teachers. So we need to get the right knowledge, we need to get the right skills. Even the attitude we had before needs to be changed so that we are able now to impart the right knowledge and skills to the teachers. When we acquire this knowledge also, it will help us to know what the approaches we are going to use to ensure that now the program succeeds, because it definitely has to succeed. So we need to assist the teachers. We also need to assist the parents because it is us they rely on. In most cases, they tell us it is you to tell us, it is you to guide us on what we are supposed to do as parents. So we need to get the right knowledge, skills, and also change of attitude.
I feel very strongly that these trainings, for example, the one we have with you, the increase program, is making us be very innovative. It is going to address my weaknesses. Really passionate on the ICT aspect because we have realized that Kenya is on the 21st century skills, and our learners need also to have these skills.
Training is important, and especially to us school leaders, because we have to lead by example. So in CBC implementation, it is us to lead the other teachers. So we need to get the right knowledge, we need to get the right skills. Even the attitude we had before needs to be changed so that we are able now to impart the right knowledge and skills to the teachers. When we acquire this knowledge also, it will help us to know what the approaches we are going to use to ensure that now the program succeeds, because it definitely has to succeed. So we need to assist the teachers. We also need to assist the parents because it is us they rely on. In most cases, they tell us it is you to tell us, it is you to guide us on what we are supposed to do as parents. So we need to get the right knowledge, skills, and also change of attitude.
I feel very strongly that these trainings, for example, the one we have with you, the increase program, is making us be very innovative. It is going to address my weaknesses. Really passionate on the ICT aspect because we have realized that Kenya is on the 21st century skills, and our learners need also to have these skills.
Training is important, and especially to us school leaders, because we have to lead by example. So in CBC implementation, it is us to lead the other teachers. So we need to get the right knowledge, we need to get
people have not been out to go and take because they believe they'll be separated from family or something like that. So they are shying away from taking leadership roles.